Welcome to my presentation. In this presentation, let us look at some practical examples related to proportions. Let us say you're looking at a plan, and let us say the scale on the plan for a new home shows 1 inch is equal to 4 feet. 1 inch is the dimension on the drawing, and 4 feet is the dimension on the prototype. We want to find the width and length of your room if the dimensions on the plan say 5 inches by 8 inches on the drawing. So how do we do this? We're going to resort to proportions to be able to find out the dimensions of your room. Okay, so step number 1, we'll write it out as a proportion first, and then we'll try to find out the value in just a minute. On the drawing, 1 inch is same as 4 feet. 1 inch is same as 4 feet. So we can write that as a ratio, and then we can come back and then write the rest of the information as follows. If 1 inch is equal to 4 feet, first let us try to find the value for the width of the room, let me erase this. Let's find the value of the width of the room, and let me put this in a box so we know what we're doing. 1 inch is equal to 4 feet is the scale on the plan, and therefore on the width side 5 inches is the width, so therefore 5 inches is on the scale on the drawing is equal to how many feet on the prototype. When we build it, that is what is called the prototype. And the second part of the equation, we can write it out as follows. For the length, I'll put this in a box. The dimensions, the plan dimensions are still the same, meaning 1 inch is still equal to 4 feet, but this time the long side is 8 inches, and we want to find out what is the value of that on the prototype or when we construct it. So these are the two equations we have, and we need to go find that value out. So to be able to see it in terms of a figure, we can call this one, we can draw a rectangle, and if your room dimensions are y, which is the long side, and x, which is the short side, and if the plan is reading 1 inch to 4 feet, 1 inch to 4 feet, we want to figure out what these dimensions are, and that is what we're planning to do in this case. As far as the width is concerned, we can write this one as a proportion. 1 times x is equal to 4 times 5, and therefore we can find the value of x. We'll write that as step number 2. As far as width is concerned, 1 times x is equal to 5 times 4, and therefore the value of x is going to be equal to 20 feet. So this is the dimension of x, and the dimension of x happens to be the short side, which is 20 feet. One of the dimensions of your room is 20 feet, and the other, we need to now find the long side, and we know the relation between the scale and the prototype, and then in there we'll call this one as the length. So let me write that in black. 1 inch times y feet is equal to, I'm looking at this, 1 inch times y feet is equal to 4 times 8. So therefore 1 times y is equal to 4 times 8. Therefore we can find the value of y as equal to 32 feet. And this is our answer. This is where we want to leave it. And Here we can come back here and then say the value of y is 32 feet, the value of x is 20 feet. So your room dimensions are 20 by 32. If the plan, let us write this one as one more step in here, and then say if the plan reads that 1 inch is equal to 4 feet, and if on the plan your room dimensions are shown as 5 inches by 8 inches, that means your room dimensions are going to be 20 feet by 32 feet. That is the way we want to be able to understand these types of problems. And in my next presentation, we should look at some more examples related to proportions.